Okay, welcome to everybody. This is a presentation that we've put together. It's been pretty much a team effort. It's going to take a look at what happens as we age. And if you can see the photo there, you can see these gentlemen or this gentleman as he's progressed in the aging group. Now, this sort of photo here is really indicative of what we're about. We're about to try and slow down that aging process. Anyway, next slide. So what we've got here is a baby right through to a 60-year-old plus, and we're looking at stem cells here. And when you're a baby or you're born, you've got an abundance of stem cells. Now these stem cells are used to replace cells that wear out or cells that actually die. And so as we go to 18 years of age, we have cells there that are quite plentiful, but not as many. And as you go to 30 years, you see there, we start to diminish our stem cell count. Now that means that, we're still running pretty well. We're not doing too bad. We're still coping with cell death and whatever. But when you get to the 60 plus years, you'll see there that age has taken its toll on the stem cells. So we've got minimum. And what happens with this sort of situation is that we find that repairs on the body, or we get sick, or we start to feel tired or whatever, is because we're suffering more from our immune system being not up to scratch. So let's have a look further down the track. Here we've got a graph here that shows from year 0 right through to 80, and it's similar to the one before. It just shows that as we progress from 1 to 4 years right through, that the stem cells here end up diminishing, and at the end of now 64 to 80, you can see there that pretty much the stem cells are really in trouble. So repairing our body is going to be really difficult at this stage of our life. But we have an answer. As we go through this, we'll show you what happens. We're talking about worn out cells, and they're also referred to as cellular senescence. Now that's when a cell decides that it wants to die, but it doesn't die. In fact, it goes into a state of sleep, I would imagine we could call it that. And so what we're going to explore here is one of these factors that contribute to cellular senescence. And this is pretty much looking at environmental toxins. It's the world we live in. It's the things that we're subjected to every day, and how it contributes to processes that accelerate aging and degenerative conditions most of us associate with getting older. So as before, we looked at the slide before. So these conditions have a bigger effect on us as we get further down the age group, as we don't have necessary stem cells and immune system to cope with it. So what can we do about it? You might know that a number of 75-year-olds, each of whom have different qualities of life. Now, this is really interesting. You can see that all the time in life, that one might live a dependency-based lifestyle. That means that a 75-year-old may be, in a nursing facility and feeling their age, while another might still be highly active and living on their own. Now, these two differences or discrepancies reflect the idea that a person's biological or cellular age is what really counts. So different lifestyles choices can affect health at a cellular level, and is reflected in the length of our telomeres. Telomeres we will get into in a little minute. We'll do that down the track a bit here, but they're very important in maintaining our stem cells. Scientific research has found that longer telomeres, the DNA end caps, indicate longer lifespans. So this is an important aspect for us to look at. So aging and toxins. We know that in general, people with shorter telomeres die sooner and are more likely to develop many of our chronic diseases. It's not perfect, but it's a very good index for biological aging. Shortened telomeres are not the cause of premature aging, but they are a reliable indicator of it. That's why it's important to limit the factors that affect telomere length if you wish to live a long, active life. Now, there are lots of different things that affect these telomeres, and one of them is emotional stress, lack of exercise. They can all shorten your telomeres over time. So we all suffer stress every day, so it's really important to actually try and alleviate anything that's a stress situation in your life. So we want to focus on here is environmental toxins. They are pretty much the main problem with these telomeres. Scientists are finding a mounting body of evidence that support the idea that pollution in the air and toxins in our food can shorten human telomeres and lifespans. Now, we all know that if we go to the supermarket and we look at the side of the can or the things that it all looks probably cooked, but some of it is really not really that good for us. So we're looking at cellular age and oxidative stress. Now, to understand how cellular aging can be accelerated, it's important to understand what free radicals are and what they do. On the diagram at the side there's a free radical and an antioxidant. Now, this free radical has got an unpaired electron. Now, this unpaired electron has a very, very strong affinity of trying to steal an electron from somewhere else. It might be from an organ, it might be from your kidney, it might be from your stomach, who knows? So this is why it's important that our body can maintain an antioxidant situation so that we can actually neutralize this unpaired electron. So a free radical is any molecule that contains an oxygen and at least one unpaired electron. This creates opportunities for it to react with your body's cells. As I said before, it's a pretty hungry little cell, and it's going to look to try and balance itself out by grabbing another electron from anywhere in your body. And this can create some pretty interesting situations. We're going to look at what gerontogens are. They are environmental agents that can accelerate aging in some animals, including humans. Gerontogens are typically toxic chemical agents such as those found in cigarettes or cigarette smoke. And we all know that cigarette smoke and cigarette contain something like 2,000 carcinogenic substances. However, many other things can act as gerontogens. One is ultraviolet radiation, that's the sun. Chemotherapy treatment, that's a chemical-based treatment. And arsenic or other chemicals that can also act as these gerontogens. So gerontogens work in two different ways. They can shorten telomeres, which accelerate cell destruction. Telomeres shorten with aging, and this process can be accelerated by increased oxidative stress and the episodes of inflammation. Now, we saw oxidative stress is where you free radicals are running around trying to get bits of our other parts of our body. Evidence links telomere length to the environmental chemical exposure. Short telomeres have frequently been associated with chronic disease. So the shorter the telomeres, there is some sort of disease that may be happening in your body. Gerontogens can also accelerate the rate of cellular senescence. Now, senescence is a process in which cells permanently stop dividing. Senescent cells accumulate as we get older, and that becomes a problem, as we see a little bit later. A genotoxic agent is a chemical agent that damages cellular DNA, resulting in mutations or cancer. And it's also very toxic to the genome, which is the information within a chromosome. Genotoxic substances are known to be potentially mutagenic or carcinogenic when inhaled or ingested or penetrate the skin. Now, this is where we find that the products we use at home, in the bathroom or somewhere else, will have some sort of an idea of where we're going with this, is that they are going to provide you with some chemicals within them that are going to be really genotoxic. For example, I don't know whether you've used these, but non-stick cookware, it's apparently nice to have. When you're doing the dishes, it seems to be able to be cleaned very easily. So It comes with a price though. It has polytetrafluoroethylene, the coating that makes products non-stick. Now it releases gases when heated, and this is for the life of the pan or pot or whatever you're going to use, all of which have been linked to putting humans at higher risk for cancer and other harmful health effects. So you need to look at what you're cooking in. It may be causing you to have some challenges. Other things that are really important are air fresheners. Now you find them in the bathrooms, toilets, or wherever. And these air fresheners have toxins found in them that can accumulate in the body over time. Now, according to the Natural Resources Defence Council, those toxins may affect hormones and reproductive health, especially in children. So it's important to really be mindful of what you spray around your bathroom or your kitchen. They have these effects on not only you, but the children. Now, oven cleaners, whenever you clean your oven, if some of you get the corrosive stuff, many of these cleaners contain corrosive alkalis, which can have grave effects on your gastrointestinal tract. Now, if it affects the gastrointestinal tract, most things happen from that particular area. Now, if you upset that, then you're going to find you're going to be not very well in lots of areas of your body. It also affects the respiratory system if you've inhaled or ingested. It affects the lungs, and the alkaline problems can burn them. So cleaning solutions, and this is pretty much a big one because we all use cleaning solutions, and as the biggest offender on the list and the most commonly used, it's no secret, household cleaners contain hazardous toxins. So it's really, we really have to be mindful of what we're actually using. And if we happen to use them, make sure you're wearing gloves and make sure you don't have a confined space. That means you have an area that's well ventilated. The other source, which is actually ultraviolet exposure, which is the sun. This UV radiation suppresses the immune system in multiple ways. One of the things, it inhibits antigen presentation. It stimulates the release of immunosuppressive cytokines and induces the generation of lymphocytes of the regulatory subtype. So if you look at the diagram on the side there, you'll see there's DNA, and you'll see the incoming UV photon, and it's actually being subjected to the DNA there, the chromosome. And on the right, after it's been hit by that, you'll find that it's actually damaged part of the information that's kept in there, in the DNA. Now that will then, when it replicates, if it is able to replicate, may cause some challenges. The major molecular target for UV-induced immunosuppression is UV-induced DNA damage. So if you're going sunbaking or you're under UV lights or whatever else, it's something to think about. UV aging, there are a couple of photos here which really depict what sun can do to you. And the one on the left there is chronic sun damage, and this is on the back of the neck. You'll see that these furrows are arranged in a typical rhomboidal pattern, and what happens is that the actual cell structure fails. So you end up with these furrows, or whatever you want to call them, creases. And the same for the other photo, is that on the front of the face you can see that sun damage is very, very, very applicable there. So it pays to keep yourself out of the sun, or use a very good sunscreen and there's not many of them, to actually protect yourself from UV radiation. So next thing is your bathroom is one of the biggest places of toxic exposure. And you can see here, we've got a few different chemicals. We've got there polyparabens and isobutylparabens, butylparabens, benzylparabens. They're all found in products that you buy off the shelf. They all have a very nasty effect and constant use. They are actually used by young ones as well. So it's really important, because this is this sort of chemical does get inside the body, and so it's not a good idea to be using them. So the toxins absorbed into the body, so chemicals in your body, your skin is the largest organ of the body. It is responsible for detoxification and absorption. Scientific studies carried out by the American Journal of Public Health found that the skin absorbs up to 64% of what is applied topically. So the skin doesn't offer a barrier, as a lot of people think. It actually is quite permeable, which means it can actually ingest or take in chemicals through the pores. However, and once again, the chemicals that you're putting on, some of them have a very low molecular weight, so that's very easy for them to get through the skin and into the bloodstream. However, other studies found the face, underarms, and genital areas to be even more permeable with 100% absorption rate. So if you're putting on deodorants or some sort of perfumes or whatever that may have phthalates in them or things like that, and it's probably wise to find something that is very, very, what can I say, natural, that doesn't have these chemicals in, because the absorption, as you see there, 100%, and over time that will cause a few challenges. So we ask you, what are you applying to your face and underarms? So be careful. Toxins absorb into the body in 26 seconds. So when you're washing your hair with some really nice smelly stuff, like what they call it, shampoo, and it's got all these different problems, different chemicals in them, like sodium lauryl sulfate and things like that. It takes 26 seconds for it to be absorbed into the skin and into the bloodstream, to the system. So these things have a build-up function, and they can increase your chances of getting some sort of ailment. As you can see there, that picture on the right, there's 10,500 chemicals are in personal care products sold in the US, and only 10% ever been tested for safety. So it's up to you to be very careful and have a look at what you're buying and see what chemicals are being put on your skin. I heard that just recently that there are about 80,000 new chemicals being brought into the world. So they're coming in every day, and they're going up, and they're not being tested. So also 5 pounds of chemicals are absorbed through our skin each year. So that's really interesting. So where does it go? It goes inside into the bloodstream and gets stored in your body. 60% of what you apply to your skin is absorbed into your body. So it's really important, I believe, to actually look at what you are putting on your skin. So look, every time you buy a product from a supermarket or a pharmacy or whatever, make sure you have a look at the chemicals that are in it. Toxin exposure. As you can see here, this is harmful ingredients. There's 2,983 chemicals used in cosmetics and personal care products. Now, 884 of these ingredients were found to be toxic. Now, that's an extremely high percentage. And we've mentioned here that 2 of them were sodium lauryl sulfate and propylene glycol. And both of these, I think we've heard time and time again, sodium lauryl sulfate is a very strong degreaser. Propylene glycol is used in antifreeze and things like that, and plenty of other things. It's even used in food. So it's not a good product. So of these, 314 can cause biological mutations. That's great, isn't it? 218 can cause reproductive complications. 778 can cause acute toxicity. 146 can cause tumors, and 376 can cause skin and eye irritations. So this is really confirming the fact that we all should have a look at what we're putting on our body, especially the ladies, who probably, although the men do have more today as well, but things like lipsticks and hair shampoos, face creams, just be mindful of what you are actually putting on your body. Some of them are quite toxic. On the right there, this was presented in 1997, it was President, or he was a senator then, but Edward Kennedy, US concrete reference analysis by the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health. Why are you poisoning your family? So they are trying to actually have some sort of control over this industry, but unfortunately, even to this day, cosmetic and companies don't have to actually apply to the TGA or places like that. You can just bring them in. Another interesting one is toothpaste. You know, we all clean our teeth and we all use some sort of a brand of toothpaste. The toothpaste is another very interesting product because it has interesting chemicals in it as well. So, and this is another thing, is that the absorption of drugs from oral cavity into the mucosal tissue is typically a fast event. That was a PubMed statement. And you can see what we've got here in some of the toothpaste. You know, we've got color pigments. We've got propylene glycol, parabens, sodium lauryl sulfate, polyethylene glycol, and triclosan. Now, these things are really very interesting because they're all clean, like suspected of cancer. Triclosan, causing agent connected to hormone imbalances, has been shown to be toxic to fish and other aquatic animals and plants. I don't think fish do their teeth, but anyway, that's what we do when we do our teeth. Linked to production of dangerous levels of dioxins. We know what dioxins are. They are very dangerous substances that don't die. They have about 250,000 year half-life. A cancer-causing agent also known to reduce immunity and cause nervous system disorders. I think Agent Orange was one of the dioxins as well. Has been implicated in oral conditions, including canker sores and bad breath. It's the stuff that makes toothpaste foamy. Now, parabens may play a role in sterility in males, a very important aspect here. Hormone imbalances and breast cancer for the ladies. The EPA considers, this is the propylene glycol, the EPA considers this ingredient so toxic that for handling it requires gloves, protective clothing, goggles, and disposal by burying. So here we are putting this on our toothbrush and shoving it in our mouth and giving our teeth a lovely scrub while it's being ingested by the inside of our mucosal setup there. So one other thing that's really very interesting is the colour pigments they put in them. They're synthetic colouring agents made from coal tar, which can be found in a multitude of personal care products, including lip balm, gloss. It's a known carcinogen. So once again, one should be very mindful about the toothpaste that you look or buy and what you actually put in your mouth, because it's over time, these things do have an extremely bad effect. Now, this is what the regulations of chemicals in Australia are about. Cosmetic regulations Australia, you do not require a license to start manufacturing cosmetics. Good manufacturing practice is not mandatory accreditation. You are not required to submit your products for any government agency for safety assessments or approval before releasing them on the market. There is no checklist covering all elements you're required to include on a cosmetic product label. Now, it's interesting, sodium lauryl sulfate, if you buy it for degreasing, then you can get a material safety data sheet, but they don't provide that with your cosmetics or with any of the other products that you have. Okay, we're going to look at senescence. So proof of senescent cells increase with toxic chemicals. This is a team of scientists that developed a strain of mice that produce a protein that glows whenever they make a P16, which is the protein that correlates to the number of senescent cells. So when they get older and have lots of senescent cells, they glow like crazy. When you expose them to chemicals, they'll glow at younger age than you expect. So this is on the right of the mice there. One is actually is about the same age, but one looks pretty down to it, doesn't it? The other one looks really quite good. The fur is really good. On the left is a lady there who's got face split, but you'll see the difference between complexion on one side and the other side. Really interesting. Senescent cells are a major cause of aging. Now, this is the fluorescent part of the mice that they were doing. So in aging, the body experiences a phenomenon called senescence, a process where healthy cells are damaged and lose their ability to divide over time. These harmed cells build up in the body and release hormones that cause inflammation. As people age, these cells accumulate and contribute to aging as well as many diseases associated with it. Now, this is where we go right back to one of the slides in the beginning, is where we were losing our stem cells. Well, stem cells become senescent, and so we have less and less of them to deal with some of the things that we need to have happening in our body biologically. Now, this picture on the left here is chronological aging, so you can see there that they start off and it gets a bit older. Now, on the right there, you'll see these mice were subjected to ambient air and then cigarette smoke. And you can see that the senescence built up quite drastically on the cigarette smoke and appreciably on the ambient air. So, and also the chronological aging there, like a mouse lives for a couple of years, I think. And so you go from, you know, the left-hand side to the right-hand side, where as aging builds up, the senescence builds up to the point where they won't live much longer. Scientists are now recognizing the effects of toxins and aging. So while with birth date on your driver's license can tell you your chronological age, that might mean little in terms of the biological age of your body and cells. Researchers say that what we need now is a better understanding of the chemicals involved in aging and biomarkers to measure their effect. Excuse me. This is a quote. "We believe just as an understanding of carcinogens has informed cancer biology, so will an understanding of gerontogens benefit the study of aging. By identifying and avoiding gerontogens, we will be able to influence aging and life expectancy at a public health level." So that is very promising. What can we do to protect ourselves today and slow cellular senescence? Okay, step one, remove products that contain potentially harmful toxins in and around the home. I think we mentioned before there as we went through the slides that you've got bathroom products, you've got products that you put on your garden, you've got things that kill weeds, glyphosates and things like that. They are all extremely toxic to your body. So we need to be looking at that as well. In the kitchen, some of the things you use to wash dishes have some very interesting chemicals in them that can be toxic. So step two, look at ways to slow the effects of aging. So how do we do that? First of all, this is some of the things that we may be able to compare with. This is step one, personal home and hair care care products. Now this is a lineup that Sisel produced. Now they produce a toothpaste, mouthwash, shaving gel, shampoo and conditioner, body wash and facial creams, all with no chemicals that will harm your body. And this is part of the Sisel platform, the part of the Sisel, the way that they operate. As you can see there are products for the kitchen, Organic Cleanse, that's used to actually remove residue from vegetables, fruit, whatever. You just soak them in a tub of that for a little while and you'll be amazed what does come off your vegetables or your fruit. Vibrant washing in your washing machine. The Septi Dord is a dishwashing cleaner that's actually safe for your hands and safe for you. And we've got here Sapphire Conditioner, that's a safe shampoo for your hair. We've got an underarm deodorant. And we've got an amazing product called Terminator, which is being used right now for various things. It's a ethylene dioxide, a stabilized chlorine that's a mouthwash and can be used for other things that needed sterilizing. You've got a nice toothpaste, which is free of all those additives that we mentioned before and does the job. I find it absolutely amazing. Bubble bath, if you want to relax in the bath and enjoy a few moments with the door shut, that's a great thing. No ingredients in there that are harmful. And super shave for the guys, and I take it for the women as well, if they want to use it, is extremely effective and has no bad chemicals. Now, this other one here, which is the cucumber hand wash, which is extremely good. One of the things this is has such a great, the actual ingredients are so great that Tom manufactured this with putting in some colloidal silver, which is an amazing antiviral, antiseptic type product. And we've got Enliven, which is something that I can't do without. It's a body wash, which is absolutely brilliant. No harmful ingredients. Don't use a lot, but amazing. You come out of your shower feeling absolutely fresh. On the left here, we've got a lot of different things here, which we'll go through at some stage. Transfusium, Sisel Rapid Repair. These are all for the ladies. And some other things there, facial cream. I may leave them for Katie because she's much more knowledgeable than I am with that particular side of it. So let's move on. So what else can we do to slow aging and increase our health span? Now, these things are really important. What we need to do is we need to exercise, extremely important. Gives the lymphatic system a bit of an exercise, moves toxins. It actually allows us to get some blood circulating around our body, and that's really important. Our diet, another extremely important aspect of our life. Sufficient proteins, lots of vegetables and fruit, and all these not cooked to the point where there's no vitamins or minerals left in them. They're actually cooked so that you can still taste the fact that they are fruit and veggies. Drink plenty of water, extremely important. We are a hydrated being. We need to keep our hydration up, mainly for flushing and for also the chemical structures in our body also require water. Supplements to support telomeres, DNA and stem cells, remove the waste inside and outside cells, and antioxidants to protect DNA. Now I'll just go through some of these products in the next slides. But what we're seeing here, we're seeing the H pill, we're seeing TSX, and we're seeing the Sisel H2 sticks. And of course, our latest product, the phenomenal product, is Stemolytic. So let's have a look. The H pill, this one helps diminish glycation buildups that inhibits intracellular proteins. Now, glycation is a buildup of when sugars and fats get together in the bloodstream, and they cause this challenge. Helps reduce lipofuscin. That's another buildup of lipid stuff, which is caused, and it needs to be removed. Helps remove toxins and cellular sludge. Supports cellular health and stem cells. Increases the ATP, providing biological hydrogen to help amplify cellular electrical energy. That's the mitochondria. They absolutely need this biological hydrogen as their fuel to keep us running. Helps clean up cellular waste, allowing the cells to work at a more optimal levels. Now that's the H pill. TSX is an advanced telomere support. It supports the telomere function. It supports our cognitive activity, supports DNA replication, supports healthy organ function, enhances efforts to slow aging. Another amazing product. This should be, the heading's wrong, sorry about that. The H2 sticks is a potent fusion of life's most powerful element and macronutrient, harnesses the power of the sun with diatomic hydrogen and reap its health benefits. So here's the features and benefits of this product: stimulant-free, oxygenated water, infused with diatomic hydrogen. Now, hydrogen being the smallest atom that we know, so it gets to every part of your body and it makes a big difference. supports cellular health, helps address oxidative stress by neutralizing free radicals, helps address oxidative stress. I'm doing well here. Support for increased cellular energy, strong rapid support for recovery and exercise. So if you do a bit of exercise or you do some gym work, amazing product. Now, Stemolytic, this has been shown it's a very new product. It's just come to Australia in the last 5 days or so, or a few days. It has been shown stem cells go into senescence as normal function of life. Senescence should not be likened to being put to sleep. The senescent stem cell is far from sleeping. It still participates, but isn't the happy replicating cell it once was. It has been put into a state of dormancy. I think commonly we may hear them as zombie cells. Only in the ability to replicate, so state of dormancy, only in the ability to replicate, which means they don't replicate anymore. It becomes an unhappy, perhaps even angry stem cell, which can trigger unhealthy functions like turning cells into tumorous, cancerous cells. It can cause aging disease like glaucoma. So even though the action of creating senescence is a healthy biological function, because it pulls the old stem cells out of the replication pool, it is not necessarily the healthiest of cells in the body. They are thought to be responsible for disease of aging. So when Tom Maurer Sr. spoke at the World Congress of Stem Cells in 2018, he spoke on the science behind the AGE pill. Discussions at the conference were on senescence. It was thought to be one of the next frontiers of the theory of age reversal. When Tom is presented with a problem, he works on a solution. So of course, over the course of the next year, he worked on the formulation we see in Stemolytic. This product combines the powers of 8 most powerful senolytic agents known. Each one of the 8 ingredients works in slightly different ways to support rejuvenation of senescent stem cells, support the body to induce apoptosis, which means that they get rid of the cells that are past their use-by date, that are too far gone, and the isolation and removal of senescent stem cells, a process known as autophagy. So that is a process known as autophagy. It will help in creating the environment for production of new stem cells. So we get rid of the old ones and then we can get some new stem cells produced. That's it. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you got something out of it. Thank you, Katie.
Thanks, Ian. So I'll be taking just the last 10, 15 minutes. So I'll just stop.
Did I go over time? Sorry.
No, you did great. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me just bring up mine. Okay. All right, so I'll finish up the presentation today by giving you an overview of Sisel, and then we'll finish there. So I'll just check mute. I'll just mute it out. Great. Okay. So Sisel, which Ian's touched on tonight. So we've talked about the problems, obviously, that we face when we're aging and what we can do about it. And he's giving you some really, hopefully, useful tips that you can take away. And then talked about the Sisel products. So Sisel stands for Science, Innovation, Success, Energy and Longevity. And just to give you a little bit of background, so my story, I actually got involved with Tom Senior's products quite some time ago, and it was started when my father developed early onset Alzheimer's. He got that at the age of 54. And by 56 years of age, he was actually in a nursing home with 80-year-olds. So something was very wrong with that picture. And at that point in my life, I decided I was going to do everything I could to find out what are all the things that we can do to slow the effects of aging and keep ourselves as well as possible so we don't have to suffer such terrible afflictions. And one of the things I started looking at was toxins, which Ian's covered very well tonight, and all the harm that they can do, toxins in personal care products. And at that point, I started using toxic-free toothpaste, and particularly for my father because he couldn't spit toothpaste out and was swallowing it. And so I was looking for something that was safe to ingest. And so that started me on a journey and discovered the products. Someone talked to me a little bit and said, look, there's a business opportunity. I said, no, not interested in that. I was kind of squirming when they were talking about it. I said, I just want to use the products for myself. But as I continued to use the products, I fell in love with them so much that I decided that it was definitely worth sharing them with others, and working towards getting products for free, which I've done, and now doing Sisel full time, which has replaced my income. So it's a really great story, and I just think it's a wonderful opportunity. So some of you on the call tonight might be wondering, what could you potentially get out of the opportunity? And so I'd ask you this question: what would be the most important thing to you right now? So are you someone who's interested in extra income? Are you looking for health and longevity, financial freedom? Are you interested in meeting new people? What about owning your own business? Personal development and growth, really important one. That's something you might be interested in. Helping others, you might be looking for a retirement plan, more time, or leaving a legacy. So after you've left the planet, that there's something left behind for others. So I invite you to ponder upon those things and think about, as I'm presenting this information, how that could fulfill a need for you. So the Mauer mission is a lifelong passion, and the mission is based on informing, educating, and empowering people worldwide. So the Mauers, which you can see in this picture here. So we've got a picture of Tom Senior. He's on the left side, seated to the right of that photo, with his son Tom Junior and his son Tom Junior Junior, and Tom's father there. So there's a whole generation of Mauers, and then they've got their daughter Liesl Mauer, who's the Australia-New Zealand manager director. And so it really has been a lifelong mission for them. And it started quite a long time ago. So the Mauer mission's been going on for 30 years. They really are the icons in health and wellness, and is built upon the no harmful ingredients story. So Ian's talked about that quite a bit tonight, that Sisel produce a very safe range of products, which they do. Tom's been producing safe products since the 1990s. And in fact, I remember that, it was Tom back then saying how harmful baby powder was. And now it was only just this year, or just last year, that Johnson & Johnson had been sued for the ingredients, asbestos contaminated in talc, and also the fact that talc in itself has the properties of asbestos when breathed in is harmful. So he knew about this way back then, and so he's been working on the mission and sharing that information for a long time. Tom Mauer Senior also has been invited to be on the board of the World Stem Cell Congress, and was invited to be the keynote speaker. And both Tom Junior and Tom Senior, pictured in this photo, are two-time Genius Award winners for product formulations. So pretty incredible stuff. And Sisel is destined to is something great, and to continue that way. The Mauers own their own manufacturing facility, so you can see a picture of it here. It's state of the art. That's in Utah, in Salt Lake City, where the products are manufactured. And so the manufacturing facility is 400,000 square foot plus. It's 100% debt free, which is fantastic, so they don't owe any loans. They have their own research and development facility, and employ, I think it's about 22 PhD scientists to formulate and develop their own Sisel line of products. They use the very latest scientific discovery, and they make sure they use therapeutic doses. A lot of companies will put an ingredient into a product and list it on the label. However, they've only just put a tiny amount in, and it's not even enough to do anything. It's not even a therapeutic dose, but they've just put it in there so they can say, hey, look, we've got this ingredient in the product too. Well, it's not really the same if it doesn't have enough of it to be effective. The other great thing is you can buy direct. There's no middleman. So they're coming straight from your front door. And I love the fact that the Sisel products, when they put them together, the ingredients are quarantined when they come into this facility. They quarantine them for 90 days to make sure that no mold grows or there's any contaminants there that they didn't know about. They then get tested thoroughly. They test them for heavy metal contamination. They test them for toxins and other contamination of other chemicals, pesticides and the like. And they also test to make sure it is what it is and that it's at the strength that it needs to be. And if the ingredient is not, they will send it back. And guess what? Another company buys it and uses it, but not Sisel. So it's really important to know where your products are made, that you can trust the manufacturing. The company's also protected by a dynasty trust, so it can't be broken up or sold for 250 years, so they're there for the long term. They're completely family owned. So there's no shareholders, so we don't have any conflict of interest trying to look after shareholder needs. Everything's about the quality and integrity of the product. They've invested a lot of money into the company, well over 150 million. And the facility is state of the art. It's a certified GMP facility, which stands for Good Manufacturing Practice. And certified means that it's certified by the FDA in the United States. They regularly come into that facility and they do testing and inspections without notice to make sure everything is compliant and of the highest standard in terms of safety, and it is what it actually says it is. So this slide just talks about what are the issues we face today. So we face issues such as obesity, toxins, aging, and finances are obviously an issue too. So let's touch on those topics a little bit. So Ian's already talked about this quite a bit tonight, so I won't go through it too much, but he did mention that it takes 26 seconds for chemicals in your personal care products to enter your bloodstream. So I think it's something we need to be mindful of, because if we're taking supplements, if we're exercising and doing all the right things to look after ourselves, then it wouldn't make sense to not pay attention to this as well. Another issue is nutritional deficiencies, and that's becoming a really big problem. And in fact, I did note that one nutritional deficiency that people suffer as a result of obesity, which is very common, is vitamin D deficiency, because as people gain too much body weight or body fat, it actually blocks the absorption of vitamin D. So deficiencies are, I think, rife in the population, and that it is important to get tested by your doctor to check. But this particular slide here does highlight that the food we eat today is just not what it used to be, so 50 years ago. So in this particular slide, we've got a head of broccoli there that has a comparison from 1975 to 2010 to show the nutritional value, the change in the nutritional value. So as you can see, calcium's gone down by 54% during that time. Iron's gone down by 33%, vitamin A 75%, vitamin C 21%, thiamine 35%, riboflavin 47%, and niacin 28%. So this study was actually done by the USDA, which is the United States Department of Agriculture. That's their report they put out. So my question is, if it's not in the food that you're eating, then how could it be in your body? So if you're not getting enough from your food, where is it going to come from? So I'll touch back on that topic shortly in the next few slides. So Ian's also covered a lot about aging and what happens when we age, and he demonstrated that in the first couple of slides in his presentation. But just to do a quick recap, the things that affect us when we age, so our sirtuin genes diminish and turn off, our vitamins and minerals get depleted, we continue to get cell damage, our immune system weakens, and our telomeres shorten. And of course, we've talked quite a bit tonight too about senescence. Our cells, stem cells, go into cellular senescence. So what's the solution? So Sisel have a great range of products, everything from weight loss, personal care, home care products, coffee, nutritional supplements, full skincare range, and liquid nutritionals as well. And the weight loss products are really fantastic there too. So this particular slide just shows you that, tens of thousands of people, or it's implying that, a lot of people who have joined Sisel have had great results with the products. And this particular slide I thought I would share with you just to give you an idea, if this is something that's of interest to you, that you're someone who's trying to manage your weight, you could consider the Sisel Lean product. And not only is it very effective, particularly if you follow the instructions, and that is to replace one meal a day with a shake, so you're overall cutting your calorie consumption, but it would actually save you money too. So an average lunch, say, is $10 a day, times 10 is $3,650. And if you were to replace 1 meal a day with a Sisel lunch, it would cost you $1,095 for a whole year. And so you potentially save $211 a month. So not only could you get to a healthy weight, you could also save money as well. So the product, so when I talked about the slide before about not having enough nutrition in our diet due to the declining mineral and vitamin content of our food, this particular product that Sisel make is called Spectrumact. It contains 74 trace minerals that are vital for over 2,000 essential biological functions in the body. So having enough minerals in the body is really important, particularly for the immune system as well, which is a great concern to us these days. It also has powerful antioxidants, over 40 of them, to help us protect us from man-made free radicals, which Ian touched on quite a bit tonight. And it also has fulvic acid in there. So it's a broad spectrum antioxidant and multivitamin drink supplement. I thought I'd just mention this quickly because since it's relevant given what's currently happening. So Sisel have a fantastic range of immune support products. Absolutely love them. I just wanted to touch on them quickly and let you know about them. So we have a product called Avenger, which is a broad spectrum product to support the body in the fight against viral and bacterial infections. And Tom Senior actually developed this product to provide support to those suffering from Lyme disease, which is a bacterial infection caused by a tick. The next product there we've got is Fucoidan. This is a fantastic product. This provides massive support to the body in the fight against inflammation, as well as supports the immune system and supports the fight against viruses and bacteria as well. It's called Mother's Milk in China, Fucoidan, and you can look up Fucoidan on PubMed, spelt differently, Fucoidan, on PubMed.gov. You'll find lots of studies on that particular ingredient and the power that it can provide. Influence is another fantastic product. This particular product has been designed to support the immune system and support the body in the fight against viral infection. And you'll notice the word has influence in it, F-U-L in capitals there on the label. And finally, Body Shield there is a product that contains fulvic acid, and fulvic acid has many benefits to the body. Now, we cannot make any claims regarding our products. We can talk about an ingredient and tell you what studies show that this particular ingredient may do, and then you can make up your own mind. But fulvic acid has been known, as stated by Tom Senior, that can help to protect the body against the replication of viruses. So it helps to do that and is very powerful. So if you are interested in finding out more information about these products, get back to the person who's invited you today, and they'll be able to share some really useful information on those products. Stemolytic, we've talked about quite a bit tonight, so I won't go over that, but Ian's touched on that. But we're super excited about having this product. This has just arrived. A couple of us have just started taking it, and I was just sharing with someone, Sandy was saying that her and her husband noticed an improvement in their skin, and it's only been a couple of days. And I thought I noticed improvement as well, but then I thought, oh, maybe I'm just getting overexcited and it's like placebo. But then when she told me she did, just out of the blue, I thought, oh, wow, could it be? So we have been told don't expect results though for 3 months. So if you are going to take this product, make a commitment to take it for 3 months solid. And this product will work really well with the Sisel Age Pill. Because as Ian pointed out tonight, the Sisel Age Pill supports the body to create healthy stem cells and supports the body to remove cellular waste, whereas this particular product comes in, supports the body to remove those dormant stem cells that are giving off toxins and interfering with our overall health. So fantastic product. The Age Pill, again, Ian talked about this, but just to let you know, we do have lots of testimonials for this product. And some of the testimonials are regarding energy levels, skin, hearing, and eyesight. I know Tom Senior, the product formulator himself, said that he actually threw away his hearing aids. He used to wear them, and after taking the Age Pill, he no longer needed to wear them anymore. I've seen lots of people no longer need their glasses anymore. And, you know, eyesight and memory improve, skin and energy levels increase a lot. And one thing that's not mentioned there too is mood. It really can help improve people's moods. So, we can't say that's the product doing that directly, because that would be a claim, but people have noticed these things, and you can be the judge for yourself and look into this product. So Sisel have a fantastic skincare system. And when I saw this picture on the right of this lady, this is a before and after of her face. She only put it on half her face, and she started using the full skincare program, which is the Timeless Renewal Skincare System. So our cleanser, she used the Actify 6000, the Rapid Repair, and the Transfusium. It's a 5-step program, and these are the results she got. And it actually looks like she's had a facelift. So I decided after seeing that photo, well, I was going to start trying it too, and have never looked back. The results are incredible. And not only are they effective, they're also very safe. So with these products, if you fall in love with them, it's quite easy to share them with friends and family or co-workers, anyone that you meet. So in summary, Sisel is the best option for health and lifestyle. And particularly today, Sisel takes advantage of the massive trend that's happening with age reversal and longevity. We just have a great lineup of products for those. So you can get paid to change brands. A lot of people are using supplements or obviously using personal care products already, so why not just switch brands? They're unique, safe, one-of-a-kind products. You get the opportunity to improve your health and help those that you care about. Sisel has a high-paying compensation plan. So just by referring others, you can earn commission when they make a purchase, which can go towards paying for your own product. And if it's something you enjoy doing, you could continue on to actually turn that into a part-time or full-time income. So our compensation plan pays on average 2 to 6 times more than others on the market. So you have even the option to get a lifestyle car bonus with the company. It's definitely fun and rewarding. I know everyone that's involved in the business just has a great time and just gets so much joy and is so grateful for being able to be part of something so wonderful and that has such great meaning and a mission behind it. And of course, we have weekly training too. And I just thought I'd throw this one in too. You can get your products, your shipping for free. So if you spend $250 PV a month for 12 months, on the 13th month, the company will reimburse all of your shipping costs, which is fantastic. And if you were to spend the $250 PV, you'd even get a 6% coupon issued every 5th month as well, which helps to pay for your product. So fantastic incentives by the company. So the final slide here we have to finish off today. So if you're new to Sisel and you've never heard of us before, so I would ask you the question based on what you've seen today, what interests you the most? So would you like to get started and join as a preferred customer and try some of our wonderful products and enjoy the benefits? You might decide you'd like to join as a distributor, and you could then take advantage of the free shipping offer, and also you are then eligible to earn commission, get your product for free, or go beyond that and earn a part-time income. Or number 3, you could join as a distributor and really go 500 plus per month, work towards that and building a full-time income. So that's it for today's presentation. And I hope that you enjoyed it. And so if somebody has invited you to the call today, please get back to them and let them know how you felt about the information, and they'll be happy to connect you with the company. So thanks for getting on, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. I'll just see if there's any questions.
Thanks,
quickly.
Katie.
Thank you. Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, what's left of it, and a great week.
Thank you.